Well, hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are seeing Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, Pajama Grandma. I just want to wish you a terrific day. How? I want to start off by telling a little story about how I determined how things were done. I'd started a new job in corporate America. I was the director of quality, later sanitation, but quality for a big industrial bakery. And sometimes when you're hired into a new organization, some people are really happy to see you and excited that you're starting. Other people, not so much. So in order to understand this big industrial bakery and how things work there, I decided that I was going to be an order. I was going to go from department to department and meet everyone and introduce myself by pretending that I was an order for something that we sold and delivered to our customers, to one of our customers. I was going to be that order, and I was going to follow that entire order through our entire process, from the time the customer ordered that product with the salesperson to every department that it went through, including manufacturing, purchasing, raw materials, IT, manufacturing, all the ancillary departments, but all of the departments in the order that it went through when it went through our organization. It was a really powerful exercise. Number one, it got me to meet everybody in the organization and find out who really did what. Not who people thought did what, but who actually did what they did in the organization. And more importantly, how they did it and how it interacted as it moved from department to department to department, up to and including the delivery to the customer and at the customers, how happy were they, how accurate was the delivery, everything. But that was my way of doing a couple of things. Number one, understanding and learning the processes of how things work there, who does what, and getting to meet all the people. So it was not only a unique and different way of doing things, but it was also really, really fun. I don't even know where I got the idea. I don't know if I read it somewhere in a book or if I had heard about it, but it ended up being a really fun way to introduce myself to the organization. And that was actually my last job in corporate America and my very favorite job of all time, because it was a job where I was 100% uniquely me. I was just myself in that job. And a lot of jobs before that, I had played the good corporate engineer or the good vice president in quality. And with that came a lot of masks and a lot of just going along with the company program, whether I agreed with it 100% or not. And that never felt awesome to me. So that was part of why I love this job so much. I just got to be myself. Good morning, Chad. Great to see you. Today we're going to talk about processes, because processes are the how we do anything that we do in our businesses. They're actually how we do anything we do in our lives. We all have rituals and routines and processes and habitual ways of doing things. If we didn't, we would never get anything done. Think if you had to remember to breathe. What else would you get done in a day? If you actually had to consciously remember to breathe and have a thought about having to breathe or blink your eyes or swallow, we would never get anything done. So a lot of things have to be on autopilot or handled for us. And as human beings, the things that aren't handled by our subconscious, we actually create routines and rituals and ways of doing things, our processes, for making sure that we're a little bit efficient and effective in our lives, in our living, and especially in our businesses. Now, some of these rituals and habits are undertaken consciously. A lot of them we just kind of figure out along the way, and we just make habits out of them, which some things that works for us, some things it doesn't. I think we have to be a little more conscious of things that are really important to us. I mean, like how we raise our kids is a little more important than how we brush our teeth or how we fix our hair. But in our businesses, the same is true. We have to decide how we're going to do things. Now, I know a lot of businesses that just randomly do what they do. The person that is in charge of the business is a genius and they're awesome at what they do, but every time they do it differently. So say, for example, I have an advertising agency, or I'm an artist, and an artist is probably different because they get commissioned to do different things all the time, but they also have their own rituals and ways of creating their art. But say I have an ad agency, and every time I have a client, I decide that I'm going to to create their advertising campaign and deliver what they purchase from me differently every single time. If I do that, I can do that. I can deliver that. I can do that successfully, but it's really hard to scale and grow and supersize that business because I can't get anyone else to help me do anything. So it's always going to be just me. But if I actually understand how I do things and I look at how I do things, the process that I use for doing things, I can now get other people to do parts and pieces of those processes and things so that I can grow and scale and supersize my business. So today, I challenge you. We've been talking about strategy for the last couple of days. Imagine that you've picked a strategy and you kind of can see by looking at your business, what is the thing that's going to help me move from point A to where I want to be the farthest? What's going to give me the biggest bang for my buck right now if I do some work with that? I'd like you to pick that one thing. And if you can't, if you're having a hard time deciding that, I'm going to challenge you to be in order for your own business, for your own company today, and think about what are the steps that an order or something has to go through from the time somebody decides they're going to do business with you to the deliverable, to what it is that you deliver to them. So for example, if I am delivering handmade frozen food to someone and one of my let's say a restaurant customer places an order for 10 bulk cases with me. Think about what does it take for that 10 bulk cases to be produced throughout my process. And as I'm looking at that process, I can say, all right, what in that chain is, number one, maybe broken, or that do I need to work on, or do I want to work on, because I know if I fix that one thing, it's going to make a huge difference and a huge impact on my business. And that's exactly what I did with the Italian food business. I went in and I started looking at our processes and realized, okay, this is totally broken. We need to get rid of this. It was actually the first process that we did that with was, I call it the crimper now, but it used to be the handmade rolling or the hand rolling of the ravioli molds. We rolled all of our ravioli molds. We'd filled them and we rolled them out by hand to get them to come apart in the forms. And we had to get rid of that. So we actually designed a piece of equipment that could crimp them. So we could put 2 ravioli molds in this piece of equipment, press a hydraulic high pressure bar, and it would crimp 2 plates of them at a time. Drastically increased our efficiency and what we were able to put through our manufacturing business. That little piece of equipment made me millions of dollars. It's actually sitting in my garage right now. Long story. So you'll know intuitively what process you need to work on. Me, for example, over the next few days, I'm going to share how I get more customers and more clients into my coaching business and how I'm automating that process throughout the next several days. Primarily, I'm picking that one because I think almost every business at some level wants to find a way to get more customers. Customers are the lifeblood of all of our organizations. If we're in business, we all either need customers or clients or patients or whatever it's called. So I thought that is a good process to demonstrate over the next, I think it's going to be 5 or 6 days. Let me take a peek. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over the next 6 days, we're going to dive deeply into step by step what you need to do to actually not fix, but supersize that process. So I'm going to choose that because I think that's the one that'll benefit the most people, including me, because I'm always looking for better, faster, easier ways, more efficient ways to get more people that I love to work with coming to me and being attracted to me. So I'm not going out and chasing them. One of the coolest things I did in the Italian food manufacturing business, now we were a B2B business. We sold to grocery store chains and restaurants. But I got that business from a customer handling standpoint to the point where people actually had to come and request to do business with us. We didn't just sell to anybody. They didn't actually have to fill out an application like I do with my coaching students now, but they did have to talk to me and go through a screening and a series of questions and an interview before I would decide if we would produce product and sell it to them in their business or not. And that worked out really well because it allowed me to streamline our process of sales in addition to getting new customers, sales, because then we had a process and a routine where, once a week we just called all of our clients to see what they needed for orders. And then finally we got some of them on an auto program where they would text in, or else they would actually, this is, old school, because I didn't have much technology a couple years ago. They would actually just email me their order every week. And that made life and that business run a lot more smoothly and a lot more simply, because by setting it up that way, I didn't have to do all those sales calls. I could delegate that and have somebody else do those sales calls every week, because I set up that process to make it easy and routine and repeatable. So that's the kind of things we're looking for. We're looking for, what is the thing that's going to get you the biggest bang for your buck and move that needle from where you are right now to where you want to be the fastest. And it's not going to move you from where you are right now to where you want to be automatically, but it's going to help you take that first step. So that's it. Think about the process you want to work on, and tomorrow I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to map out that process to supersize your business and have an awesome success with what you're trying to accomplish. That's it. Have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Pajama Grandma out.